Okay, this is the second time I'm starting, so now I feel even weirder. I was talking about how weird I felt and how weird everything feels, and all of a sudden the stray cat was out there just crying and crying and crying. So, and she is a girl, and we named her Sheba. And, but it seems that she's an indoor cat, and it seems that she's a kitten, and it's weird. Is I wonder what happened in her life, or she ends up out here like this. Somebody dumped her, or she ran away and got lost, but she seems to be really scared out there on her own. And she's the sweetest cat, and she's really taken to me. We're just like, dang, I wish I could get the dogs to be used to her, because she really seems like she likes me. And she's like the sweetest, most playful cat, and she comes as soon as I call her. She follows me. It's weird, almost like it's a plant. like sometimes I think about that with Max. It's like, is it really a spy dog? Maybe this is a spy cat. But I was even because we were outside with it, and then came in, and then I came in and I let the dogs out. And when we went out, she was over there like hiding down in the thing, in the flowers and stuff, and I started sending her telepathy, and she turned and she started responding to what I was saying. And then she started coming to me from the telepathy. I was like, oh my gosh. I don't know if it's just that we're just becoming so much more connected with nature. I don't know if she's a robot cat. Like, I'm not sure what the hell is going on in this world. That that there's no moon again. And Crystal was like, well, in the cycle, there's a part where there's no moon. I swear to God, I don't remember that ever in my whole life, where there was just no moon. I don't remember there being an empty sky with no moon when I was growing up. So then I was like, I was trying to imagine the how the thing went. And so then I looked it up, and it says that we're in this phase of no moon. It's like, well, it's been going for like a week, so no moon. And what I have seen is that when the moon shows up, it is it's always like full. Since I've been here and I've been watching and stuff, there was some stuff in the beginning where I just started seeing like, oh, it's in different places all the time, and then it started being gone, and then it started just showing up when it would be full, and then there was no moon. Then all of a sudden there was one, and it was like a crescent one night, and then the next night it was a smiley face, or either later that night it was a smiley face, and then I was like, well, that is weird. And so then it disappeared again, and now there's been no moon. So in this cycle thing, how it shows it, so I drew this little picture. So how it shows it is like a crescent thing, and then it goes into a bigger one, and then it goes full. Then it starts taking little pieces out until it's just a tiny crescent, until it's black, and then it starts back on the other side. I was like, I don't know. I've seen the moon phases, like things of it a lot of times, but it's like, I don't know. Everything just seems like bullshit now. Everything seems like Truman bullshit, like bullshit. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why it's weird, but it's weird. When I was drawing that too, I was drawing this, this earth thing, if you can see it. So it was, like the toroidal field. So this is the North Pole and South Pole, and so this is the pole, and so this is what's flipping too, and it's kind of like, I don't know, everything's gonna flip the other direction, but so the energy is the creation of these different realities. And then where I was saying like the land, see, it comes out like this more, and then there's like these islands, but it's like the water is more all around us. Like it's weird because it's like this water that we're breathing is like, it's like it's so, what would that be? Like humidified to the point where it's like air or something, but it still is water. It's just like how a water evaporates or something. I don't know, but there's water all around us, even though it doesn't seem like it. And so to me, how I was seeing it was like all of this land coming out, but this is like still looking at a flat surface. This is two-dimensional or whatever. So if you were in the 3D dimensional thing, see, that whole thing would go out like that. And so all the land is coming in like that. And then there's islands and there's water. But what I'm saying is that we don't just go zip, zip. We're not all like next to each other. It's like, and there is different frequencies in different places. So, and everything is different realms and different realities and stuff. And all I can do is keep saying that. You got to put it into your own mind and be able to understand it. Like, so anyways, that is like how I was seeing it. In the sun thing, or whatever, the rotation thing, how I was seeing it was kind of like circling around like this. And it's like, I don't know. There's something, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that just is off. A lot of stuff that's off. And I don't know how, because what was that? Oh yeah, okay. Because yesterday, okay, so it was supposed to be cloudy yesterday. And it had been sunny, you know, empty sky. And then I think the evening before, I saw like the lines in the sky. The weird thing is like I keep not seeing any planes. Like there's no planes putting that stuff up there. It's almost like the firmament is pushing it, like they're gassing us through the firmament or something. Like they've got a leaking system up there or something. There's something weird, man. Hold on, let me finish this. So, anyways, I just got a chunk of the powder stuff in my mouth. So, so it was supposed to be cloudy yesterday, and so, I'm out. Hair or something. Ugh. Like I'm just getting there's so many crickets in here. I don't know if you can hear them right now, but I even looked up about the hertz sound because of how loud and intense it is, especially like when you're trying to go to sleep. It's so fucking loud and so intense. And then I looked up, so it's 2 to 4 hertz or something, and then if they're like mating, then it's like 3 to 7. I don't know, there's 3 different things. And and also they can go from anywhere from 1,500 reps or something to 10,000 or something. So but it's super intense. But I was thinking, well, it's natural. I wonder what the hertz is, because it could be really healing. So I'm going to start putting that. This is a healing sound, and put it into my mind as a healing sound. I can still, I mean, just hear it. So loud. It's so fucking loud. But it's also not there's like 2 different tones that they play. This is like, I don't know, a sleeping one or something. It's kind of really high pitched, and it's just constant. But then when they start doing their chirping on top of that, oh my God, it is so fucking noisy. And then it's so noisy outside with so many crickets. And you come in, and these crickets aren't those little spazzy ones. These are big, like monster looking crickets that just, they know when you're looking at it. They know when you're talking about them. Like, they'll be making all this noise, and I'll start saying, okay, you're about to be evicted, dude. As soon as I find you, you're evicted. And he'll stop. He'll just get real quiet. I'll start looking for him. It's like, it's the weirdest thing. And then one came out and was just standing there last night. And so I get him and put him outside. And they don't go all crazy jumping around. They're a lot more just like calmer, but they're big and they're creepy looking. Like, ooh, they're real creepy looking. And they're noisy as a motherfucker. And they're everywhere. There's so fucking many out here. Oh my God. And I don't know how long is cricket season. All summer. It's like, ugh. And then earlier I put my sweater on and went upstairs after I was videoing. And then I ran upstairs because that cat was out there just crying its head off. And so I'm standing there and it's rubbing all over me and purring and all this. It's reaching up and trying to like hug me and stuff. It's like the sweetest cat, unless it's a robo cat. And then, but the, all of a sudden I felt something bite me and I was like, motherfucker. And so I'm like trying to rub and trying to see, you know, it freaks you out. Like I have a spider in my clothes. And that's the thing about being in a garage or a basement or something, like, where stuff's piled everywhere. There's spiders and shit. And now it's becoming season for all the bugs, bug season. And so now I've been shaking my clothes out, but I couldn't find anything. I took my shirt off, I turned it inside out and stuff, but then I felt, and it felt like a welt or something. It was like something there had to be something. So anyways, the bugs are, I don't know, the whole thing. I'm ready to be in my own little house, my own little bed. I don't know. Whatever my higher self had planned for me. I don't know what the plan is. I just got to go with the flow. But anyways, so yesterday it was supposed to be cloudy. So we get up, it's super, super sunny. And it's like they've turned, something's going on. I don't know if they're turning it up. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It is so freaking hot under the sun. And so then I went to go take the dogs for a walk because I was like, well, I'm going to go walk them before it gets too hot then. And so we go walking and I'm looking at the sky and it's like hundreds of lines are just appearing. And there's nobody putting them out there, and they're just appearing all over the place. Just lines, 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 crossing, crisscrossing, and all that. And I'm like, what the fuck? How is this happening? Is it something that is put up at night that is activated by the heat? That's what I have kind of, you know, my hypothesis has been because I've seen this before, where I've said it before, I've talked about it before, where it seems like there's some kind of a heat activation that happens. And so, because there was nothing up there. And I did a video on this one person, so you can hear them. Dude, I don't know what you're hearing. I went and heard the video, and I was like, yeah, it does sound like those planes are flying around. But there isn't. You can look up and see. And I did a bunch of videos. You can't see any planes. You can see lines going, and there's no planes. And unless they're little invisible planes that they got up there. Maybe they're drone spraying or something. I don't know. In that movie that I had seen from the 60s or whatever, they talked about that they were spraying us from satellites. And that was this whole thing in this movie. I talked about it before. But so that could be that's what they're doing. Anyways, so hundreds of lines are going and everything. So I'm looking up at all this stuff, you know, thinking about like, this is wacky, man. And then I saw a number. Oh my freaking God. I have said, every time I've seen it, I've said, I can't believe how much bigger it is, how much closer it is. This time, oh shit. I couldn't believe how big it was. Oh my God. Especially when I compare it to where I started, because when I very first started showing it back on Facebook, it was my, I had a deck, and so it would be like the sun or the moon. Oh, well, okay, let me think. So the sun, it would be in this certain position at a certain time, and then I would see this big shadow behind it. And so I started videoing it and putting it on Facebook or pictures or whatever it was. I think maybe it was pictures. I don't know if it was video for that. But anyway, so I was putting these pictures of it, and then I was getting the same reaction as like still. That, you know, oh my God, that, jeez. So, anyways, and it looked really big, but it was a different angle. It was totally different angle. And that is also where, to me, this thing that we're in, this rotation and stuff, that is what I swear to God is like, obviously, if this Nibiru thing is coming in, there's movement or something, and it is, so it's at different places, at different times, like it's not, I don't know, it's like sometimes the sun, because for days the sun was out and it was, you didn't see anything. The sky looked totally clear. And then whatever day this would become, and then they're going crazy space. So if it's like every third day, because that's what I was noticing in our weather cycle. 2 days clear, cloudy. And so if it's the third day is when it's in our thing. So we think we're going in this full cycle, but really this sun and this moon thing is going around us. And so it's all an illusion. But this thing, it's not like, oh, it's the third day to it. It's where we are. And so wherever it's at. So now it's like above more. It's above, but it's been above for a long time. And even before, when I was doing that road trip, I said I can sense the shadow of it. I can sense it here. And I look, I see this huge shadow. And so it was kind of like, also from what perspective is how close it appears or something. And so, but when I was at the other house and I was doing videos of it, and then all these people, oh, that's a sundog. I'm like, that's a perfectly natural, normal thing. Oh my God, you crazy conspiracy theorist, whatever. And so now the sundog is so freaking huge. Like, that is what I should draw a picture of. Let me see where I put my pen. So I can show more. See if I can find where I like my pen. Of course, this is the shenanigans. I swear, there it is. Things that should be easier. So whereas before, let's say like the sun was like this ball, and then the sundog was like about like this, and so it kind of gave a look like an eyeball, but it also gave a look of whatever I was gonna say, fuck if I know, eyeball. And but so now it's like, okay, but the sun is also like, oh my God, it was so big and distorted. As I was zooming in on the video, and it's like, oh my God, it's like this plasma, fucking weird looking. No, my pen's running out. This crazy weird shape thing. Let's see if I put it down this way. Okay, now it's gone. And so it's this crazy weird shape thing, the sun, and then the sun, or the shadow behind it is it is like way out here. So it's like, fuck, the distance, like this distance now is like 10 times the distance. It's fucking huge. So when you're looking at it, you can't just look like right at the sun and think you're gonna see it there. No, you gotta look back. You gotta be out a little and see. And it's humongous, which is it's getting closer. And I even told my mom, when I saw it, I was like, oh shit. I did a video, and then I went up and I said, do you believe in wormwood? And she's like, yeah. And I said, oh, you gotta come see this. And she went out and she tried to look up at it. It was too bright, she couldn't see. And the sun is like extra turned up, and then they were just smoking it out, but you couldn't help but see the shadow and the color around it, because it's like a biggish grayish purplish shadow behind it that goes in a perfect circle, and then it has like the edges are like a goldish kind of color, like you can see the edges of it. And so to me, you can see it. And I don't know if there's people like have color blindness or something and they can't differentiate in the different tones or shades, but I can see it, and it's way bigger. And so I don't know if this is what they're trying to say, this asteroid that's coming. I don't know if it, I mean, like, I don't see it like hitting into our planet falling apart or something. Like, I don't know what's going to go down. I do believe that we have these different like atmospheres or universes or something merging, and I think it's all to do with vibration. But then also there's this speculation or this conjecture or prophecy or whatever that Wormwood is really the Anunnaki returning and it's a ship. So I don't know. You know, it's all like, we'll see what it's gonna be. I don't know. I can just tell you the thing that whatever it is, it's fucking way closer. And yeah, and it coming in, but see, everything is this cosmic exact. Everything is happening exactly the way it's supposed to happen. So you could think, well, it's causing the shakeup on the earth. It's causing the earthquakes and stuff like that. Well, then it was always meant to cause that because it was always going to happen. That we're always going to have the earthquakes and stuff, which are having tons of earthquakes. Tons of earthquakes are going. And there's something, there's a bunch of geologists watching. There's some kind of how was this person explaining it? It's like a separation or something going on with the plates. There's some kind of shit going on because it's all going to be changing. And I saw somebody else saying that Edgar Casey made his predictions, and he put out this map, which I think maybe somewhat is what the Doomsday map or the naval map or something, because it is a lot like it. But that is going to happen, where the landscape is going to change, you know. And if you're scared of volcanoes and earthquakes, well, they're going to be happening, tsunamis, all of that stuff. So it's going to keep going. And now also on the whatever you want to call it, and the physical government issue thing, Donald is just really going to town and freaking people out. But the way I see it was that he had to push, like I had said, he had to push because we're not meant to be blind followers, and he had too much people who are just blind followers. He's the savior, and we're not meant to have a savior. We're meant to save ourselves. We're meant to see ourselves as worthy, and then see ourselves as valuable, and then see our self-worth to the point that we save ourselves. And oh, I sent my brother a message last night. It came to me when I went and laid down. I was like, I just got it. And more stuff where, you know, they're saying that the CANCR is definitely parasites. So, and that's the way to kill them. Well, they bug spray you with whatever the CHEMO is, but but it practically kills you. But there's, you know, so many cleanses, like the horse base, all these different ones that, you know, people use regularly. We use regularly on animals and stuff, but we get skipped. And because we how they make profit off of our sickness. And so, yeah, because even when you go, you make money off of your fucking corpse too. Oh, and the gravedigger, that seems, it's almost, there's so many things that seem like they're part of the show. The gravedigger seems to be somebody who came out of nowhere and it just blew the fuck up. Now he has so many people on his thing that they got an investigation going for one of the mortuaries or something in Austin, and now there's been arrest, and she's out on bail or something. So there is, and to me, that is like a soft open into the human trade, or, you know, the harvest situation. And because everybody wants to talk about the traffic, but it's way darker than that. Like, yeah, they're perverted, but it's way darker than that. And I still think this Virginia, that I think this is part of the show too. I mean, it's just too much crazy drama, and it's all keep drawing attention to these things. And now there's the FBI is saying, "Oh no, the public can't see the Diddy stuff. Oh, it's too no, we can't let it." It's like we're grown-ups. You're grown like grown-ups don't need to be telling other grown-ups. Like we can decide for ourselves what we want to see. Like fuck off with this shit, man. I'm so sick of their fucking overstepping, controlling bullshit. So anyway, there's hop, skipped, and jumped a bunch of stuff. So let me see. Okay, so back on my... So I had sent a message and I said, well, now all these studies are out showing that the CANCR is PARASITs. And I said, so, how did I word it? Something like this. Oh, if you don't want to do the horse place, then... if you're scared of that stuff, there's so many cleanses out there, so many. It's like a market, you know, like people putting together all these things, and it's all these cleanses. So I said there's tons of them out there. You don't have to do that one, but don't forget, you know, Dad lived for 20 years with no fucking liver. You know, you got that on your side. And so, you know, I mean, how long can you live with something eating at your brain? But obviously, you know, in my bloodline, we can live 20 years with our liver being of no function. So, well, 1%. I think he got up to like 2% at some point. I think maybe he was even at 10% when he was dying of I eventually got it up to 10%, but then he died because he just wouldn't stop tipping them back. So anyways, and I said, and if you don't want to do that, try wormwood tea. Please just try wormwood tea, because it does the same thing, and it's a tea. All you can do is just have a cup of tea every day. So anyways, I don't know. I doubt I'll get a response, because it's just crazy Kelly coming up with crazy shit. And there's so many people now talking about nicotine and the studies. People are using it for all sorts of things. I just saw a girl talking about that she got the gum because she is getting retested again for pre-cancer on her cervix or something. And so she was trying that. And it's just so many people. And there's studies out that it does... it helps and stuff, but of course, you know, the big doctor groups, they don't want you to go anywhere but to the pharmacy. So this blew my fucking mind. I didn't know this. Like, to the people in England, I didn't know this. I don't think very many Americans know this, but this is the handicap or the side effects of the free medical fucking bullshit. I mean, the bullshit I've seen in Canada with those people, and that they're free medical. Yeah, it's free medical. Just try getting some fucking services. You die waiting. It's fucking bullshit, man. And then they steer you towards the maid. It's like it's fucking nonsense, man. Here, we're gonna give you something for free, but yeah, try and get it. And then, so in England, that if your child is diagnosed with the stuff we're talking about, then they decide. The medical is the decision makers. You no longer have any say over your kid's health. It's up to them. And if you don't do everything, they take you to court and take your kid away from you. And this one, this is how bad it is this woman, she was, I just caught her video. And so I hadn't seen all the previous or anything. And so she was answering a question, and she said, you want to know why I didn't tell the government of what I'm doing? Is because everything has to be on the DL. It's got to be the download because of the bullshit here in the politics. And they have secret adoption court and stuff. It's like shady as motherfucking shit. And so she's talking about this guy, and he has all these good natural things that have been helping people. And so she had wanted to talk to him, or she'd been following him or something. But there is one of his stories of what he's dealt with. So this guy, he is a little girl. So it's in England, and his little girl had leukemia, and she was dying. They had been doing all the treatments, nothing was working. She was dying. So this naturopath guy comes in and says, "Well, try this," and it was some kind of plant. She didn't say what kind, but it was something that grew out of the earth, and so they did, and the girl got better. And so when she went to the doctor, and they said, "Well, what's going on? How'd she shock? How'd she get better? What are we're failing here?" And so he said, "Well, she did this plant." Well, they took her from his custody. They took him through this court system. They took her away, adopted her out to someone else, where she ended up dying because the government gets to decide what the treatments are. You don't get a say. So they even took his dying child away from him. I was like, oh my God. I was so outraged. I started telling my mom, and she's like, "Yeah, I've heard these stories before. Yeah, that's going on over there." I was like, oh my God. I had no idea. Like, I thought it was bad enough that, they say, "Oh, you need an MRI. We'll give it to you in 2030. You got brain tumors? Oh, well, we'll get with you in 2030. It's like, what the fuck? Even though I'm like, I think that all this imaging and stuff like that is some shenanigans, but when they're leaving you, you can't do treatment, you can't do anything. You got to be out there looking at how to save yourself in all these different places. But obviously in England, you can't talk about it. But I think in Canada, you could talk about it. I mean, once you start going in that direction, you're just better off not going to the medical places, the facility. You're just better off because, yeah, they'll argue with you. And I think even here, you could get a doctor that's that shady that would turn you into CPI, because those situations have already happened here, like in the hospital and stuff, where somebody has said, "I don't want my kid to have that," and they've pulled in court, police, security, all sorts of shit, and tried taking the people's kid away. And I think it's happened a couple times, and I don't know what the outcome has been. I think the people have had to go and fight them in court, and I don't know. But right now, even you have the naysayers or whatever saying that Donald is decided we're not going to have the Constitution. He's going against the Constitution. This is like where you got to know deeper. You can't just follow along with all this shit. All this shit is to get people outraged, to get people upset, to get people to talk about things, to get people to know their rights. Like draw attention. Like he's a perfect candidate to draw attention to the Constitution, to get people to be like, "Well, he's going to take it away? What?" And then they start looking at it, and then they start understanding their rights, because people don't know how to figure this shit out. So that is more what it's like. But you have a whole group of people, are like, "Oh my God, now he's trying to take away our rights." And you have people, I just saw comments where, they are hoping he dies and stuff. It's just like, oh my God, you guys don't even realize what he's really doing for us. And, he's shifting us into, he's not here to save us, but he has a role to play. There's a whole bunch of role players out there right now, but he has a role to play in the shift. And, in a lot of the roles, you don't understand them until we get further into it, until we see. So when we look back, we have a deeper understanding. When we're in the experience, we're going with the wave. It's hard to really understand everything until you can look back, because when you're in it, it's just going. And that was making me think about something else. Let me see if I could think what it was. Because I've seen, I've had a bunch of videos pop up of like spiritual things, of people saying stuff now. And it is like people are getting to a new level. So it is getting more in a deeper understanding, it seems like. And people are getting more understanding about what the awakening is about. Because everything is about, we've been in this brainwashed state, and we're pulling out of that and going into more alert, more aware kind of state of mind. And that is why it's like awakening, because you become more aware, more alert, and you pay more attention, and you start noticing things like you didn't notice. Like, if that has always been the moon thing, that it just disappeared for days and a month, I was like, fuck, I don't remember that at all. It always seemed like it was something showing. It was a crescent, and then it would be a crescent But I don't know. It's weird. Even the whole thing of it, how it, I don't know. But here, the moon's not going in any normal cycle. It's over here one day, it's rising over here another day. It's over here at this time, it's up here. It's like all over the place. One day, it wasn't out there at all. No moon, no moon, no moon. And then the lights came on. The light came on, and there it was, sitting up in the sky. I was like, but I felt certain yesterday with all of their crazy spraying that they were definitely trying to block us from seeing this thing up in the sky. And so it seems kind of weird, that they're hiding this stuff, like they're not telling. But I mean, when they're trying to tell people like you can't handle the Diddy tapes, I was like, but you can handle something coming through the sky, like. But the thing is like they got to get people to realize more of like you're not gonna die. That was a big fat lie, and you're gonna be fine. You may leave this storyline, but that's not the end of you. It's just another phase of you going into another direction. It's nothing to fear. It's nothing to be scared about. And but they, this place, they just want to keep you scared. So I don't know, maybe they're trying to have the surprise factor. This thing suddenly busts through the sky, which yesterday, the sky had a few times where it looked like, man, it's about to fucking open. And I saw some really cool, if it's real footage, I saw some really cool footage of craft up in the air. Oh yeah, and when I opened the thing, so there's no moon out there, so it's darker, and you can see a lot of lights, and you can see ones, and some you can see real good, and they're moving, and the colors and stuff like that. But then some you can't see so well. And so I was out there, and I started talking to them and saying, to make a light if you can hear me. I was whispering. And then I started doing it through telepathy. And there was a whole bunch that started like lighting, but you couldn't see them. So it was like they were further away or something. I'm not sure. But you couldn't see anything, and then the light would light. And there was like a whole bunch. And I was like, man, there's a lot up there. So it's way more than just the ones that you can see that are the brightest up there. There's tons up there, and so you just don't see them as well, or I'm not sure, and I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I saw there was another footage of somebody had got where there was an army helicopter or a military helicopter chasing an orb, and that was a pretty far distance. They only got their thing. I don't know what the outcome of that. Who knows if it's just a big part of the show. Because all of this shit is all this big show. It's just a big fat show. All of the stuff that Donald's doing. Like, I don't even know. He's got people as ratchet as hell over this stuff with the real. But this whole thing is going to be to draw attention to things. And I did see him doing some ceremony and all these, blue guys or Z's, whatever they are, over him. And I don't even know what the ceremony thing was. And then the ones with the fucking and then there's so many people in the comments who think he was such a good guy. And then all these birds flying over where they're saying it was pigeons flying, and they suddenly went and all this, they were taking him up to the heavens. He's such a great guy and all this stuff. It's like, but slap a title on somebody, tell them they're a good guy, and they just believe it. I'm like, that guy is not a good guy. And I don't know where the birds all went. Maybe it was because his energy left and they could fly free or something. Who knows? There's so much going on over there, Vatican City and stuff. You can just see there's so many people who are just asleep, just blind ass, follow whatever. And there keeps being more and more stuff that's just going to keep coming out, more and more dark shit. But the people who need to hear it put up roadblocks to it. So we all get to hear, horrendous shit, but the people who need to hear it continue to put up roadblocks. Because see, that's going to be the thing. that they're going to see about themselves. Like, why was I unable to see this or hear it or understand it? Why did I keep blocking it? Because it's something inside them that they need to look at or heal or something. And definitely, like the religion thing, oh my gosh, is, I don't know. To me, it seems like it's just being duct taped together or something at this point, and people are trying so hard, but I don't know what's gonna go down, you know, uh, because they're all so into the rapture thing, but on the spiritual level, it's like there's so many things that need to work out. This blind faith into this, what I would not say is a creator, is yeah, it can be a god. They can tell you worship this energy, worship this god, but this god that they've put out there is not a nice person. It's very controlling. It's very over you, and you got to live in fear. That's not. That's not living. That's not natural. That is all artificial. And there's so many people who have bought into that artificial lifestyle and this worshiping this negative, dark energy that is so, I don't know, it was like hateful and controlling, kind of. Oh, yeah, you know what I also saw? Because I said I keep seeing these videos that are different now. And so there's one, I don't remember what he was talking about. I think he said that the CIA had they have a whole thing on remote viewing, and they use remote viewers and stuff. And so he was talking about that, and he was talking about some people's natural ability to just be able to look and see things, and it's like they're like astral project remote viewing. He said it's like being able to remote view. That is what I've been saying, is exactly how I would explain what I'm doing. And so then I heard him saying that. And then also he had that added thing about the 3-letter agency, which I know that they were looking for people with these kinds of abilities because they want to use them. They're all about using people. So there's more people. I think it's an ability that anybody can do. And I would say it's kind of like a focus. Like you just look into something and then it just unfolds before your eyes and you can just see into it. It's like looking at a movie or something, and you can see things. And so, I don't know. I know it's not like just some special thing only a few people can do. It's like there may be a few people who can do it naturally, but it's everybody can do it. So, you know, and there's stuff I can't. Like, I see this guy who's able to take his, I don't know, it's to take your weight away from your mind or something. It's like, I don't know, he isn't actually just sitting and levitating, but it's like he can, he can take, because on the one I just saw, it was 2 kid rocking horses, and so they're moving and stuff, and he goes up and he holds on and kind of, you know, jolts for a second, and then he holds on, then he puts his body out, and then he can put his body up, he can put it up, like just holding on to these 2 things, and he's doing all this shit, and he can just be there like floating above where he's got these 2 little things that he's holding on to. And I've seen this guy before, I talked about him before because I've seen him, and he was doing that like at a fence or something. He's just going and just with 2 arms, just holding himself out, just like he's floating or something. It's so weird. And I know that there's like gymnasts and stuff that, you know, kind of use that same thing as how that they can move their bodies around and hold themselves up because they have the strength and stuff. But anyways, his thing, it looks more otherworldly than that. It looks like he's doing something that well, I think that we can all do all these things. It's just is that you have to kind of work at some of them. And then there's the other ones too that I've seen that are able to move stuff, that you're able to control the energy because you have an energy spot where energy can come out, just like how Spider-Man or whatever. And so it's hot too. Um, and so these people have figured out how to take the energy and move it outside of their hand and move things without their hand having to touch it. And there's that one little girl in her videos where her family was doing, she was just doing that. Like she would just put her hand down like this at her counter and pull her glass would come to her. It would just scoot across the counter and come into her hand and then she'd drink from it. I was like, what in the magic hell is going on here? But so she has this kinetic powers. So this able to, with energy, move things and stuff. So all these different things, you know, it's telepathy, psychic or remote, being able to see things or move things or to take, it's like a weightlessness to be able to because that is kind of like letting go of the flesh and blood, to have like that weightlessness, that concept of the heaviness of you and how much you weigh and all of that. It's like this going into this thing of like, you know, it's an illusion, and you transcend the weight of you, and then you can move and stuff. I think there's going to be people who are going to be levitating. I think there's going to be one thing about us being able to move way faster in bigger steps or something. Like it's almost like we would be able to kind of leap and take big strides. Like I don't know why I have seen that for a long time. So it would be like you were running, but you're not like running like this. You're running like so you can make far distances. I think there's going to be a lot of things that are going to shift about how we move and how we travel, all of that. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to change. But see, all of this stuff has got to be changing. So everything has to be falling apart. But on top of it, people have to see the truth because they have to awaken. Because a big part of everything is our desires, what it is that we want. And he has said that a bunch of times. Well, I'm going to do what you guys want. Well, what it is that you guys want. Because that's what the awakening is about. He can't go against that. That would be going against, like, that would be creating a karmic debt for himself. So he has to let the things play out, even if he's dropping hints. But he has to let the people wake themselves up and see stuff, and that they can keep making things so outrageous and so crazy to spark attention, to get people to pay attention and to think in the deeper. But the TDS and the way people are so misled, but so much stuff is like that they don't know deeper. There's not a depth to their understanding over what's going on. And so something is going to highlight it. Something's going to make it more clear. There's going to be clarity. That's the thing. That's like what the awakening is really more about, is the clarity. So that it's like the remembering all of a sudden you're a soul and what you're doing here. And so it's just this clarity. But then when they all of a sudden have the clarity, it's going to bring that Emperor's New Clothes moment of like seeing, but then all of a sudden feeling naked and feeling like everybody has seen my brokenness. And everybody has spent so much time in this world trying to hide their brokenness and cover it up and mask and pretend to be something that they're not. That once that's exposed and they're standing there naked in front of the world, that it's going to, that's the existential crisis of the ego being exposed and stuff. And that's where you got to go into the deep healing and start recognizing, which I just saw this one girl, and she's, because the fascia, your fascia is making a big round of talk. And the fascia is, like I had talked about before, is the connective tissue inside your body. So you have like the in our flesh and blood concept of a body. But that is kind of based on the way that we work. And so the fascia is kind of like a grid system through your body that messages and stuff travel through. And so this person was talking about how it holds trauma and all that. And she was saying if you heal your fascia, you'll heal your trauma and stuff, which I would say it would be heal your trauma, and your fascia or the body response to the trauma is going to heal itself. But you've got to face this stuff. Means your body is telling you that something's wrong. It's trying to alert you that you've got an issue. It's like you have to go in and communicate with your body, communicate with your guides, communicate with your higher self, whoever it is, to help you understand what it is that's out of balance, what it is, what the issue is. And it can be hard to see. And sometimes things can take some time to play out. And so, it can be difficult to try and figure out, like, what am I working on? What is this? What am I healing? Why am I in your triggers? Sometimes it can be hard to read, why am I being triggered this way? What is it that I'm trying to hold on to or hold back or, judge others on or whatever it is? Because that's what it ends up leading to. When you get triggered, then you judge the other person, you go at them, then you think they're doing it to you on purpose, so then it becomes battleground and people throwing daggers at each other. When if you take your trigger and you own it and you go in and you sit with it, and if you don't recognize right away what it is, then that's when you can start in your communication and asking, what am I supposed to be seeing here? What is it I'm missing here? And pull in some kind of communication to give you guidance as to what it is that you're working on. If you still keep feeling like, I have no clue, then it will just happen again. And when it happens again, just keep trying to whittle it down to recognize what is it in me. Most of the things come from this feeling of abandonment, rejection, you're not good enough. Those are the things that are injured in us from the different experiences. So we feel like we're rejected by people. People don't like us. They don't appreciate us. They don't recognize us. They don't see us for our true selves and stuff. Isn't that the craziest thing too? All these people go around putting on a fake person, but then everybody feels like that they're understood for their real selves. Well, you got to put your real self out there to be understood for your real self. And we still are working against this energy. So you're still working against it. And I'm telling you, the dark forces are heavy duty. They are doing everything they can. It is crazy. To me, it's like the magical or supernatural shit, like them knocking things out of your hands, turning things on, and all sorts of shit. I think they've invited the fucking crickets in here. But see, it will backfire on them. They're trying to irritate me with the crickets. But then when I start putting it into my mind, with the crickets are healing, the hertz of their sound is very healing. 2 to 4, 7 hertz. Those are healing kind of sounds. I don't even remember what all different things, but anyways, but it makes sense that a cricket would be the natural tone would be something that would be healing to us. And it is so it is like a bell. It just doesn't, like, I swear to God, that's all I can hear is just hear crickets, and they're all over the place. It's like they're coming from this way, that way, that way. They're just, it's like this speaker, this whole sound system of crickets, man. And to me, it can drive me fucking crazy. But I just gotta keep telling myself, well, it's healing. It's why they're in here. They've come in here to heal us. Maybe the dogs need this healing tone or something. So I'm just gonna keep saying that and hope that they don't get in my sleeping bag or get in my tent. I feel like I'm fighting against the insect season. Which I just hope it's in the plan. I hope it's in my flight plan that there's just a home for me just right up ahead. This one house has gone for sale. It's right on the lake, and so we had to pass it when we leave here. And a really pretty house right on the lake. And I was like, oh, that would be so cool. But I don't know, really. I mean, it would be cool on some things, but everything has 2 sides, because also it'd be like kind of entering my mom's neighborhood. She's been here 25 years or something. And so she knows all these different people. They've all got like a set kind of thing. And then it's like, I don't know about. Then there's also a thing that would be cool is because then if I had that house, even if it wasn't my year-round house, but if I had that house, which, I'm talking about $1 million house or something, but if I had that, but don't forget, everything's gonna crash, so maybe it'll be going for 20,000, who knows, because they've really upped the value of things way beyond, and so anyways, I was thinking the cool thing would be like if I had that in my family could come and visit and they'd be close, they'd be able to see my mom, or my mom would be able to see them. And so I was like, well, that would be a cool thing. Maybe it would come to visit, then, she would be right there. And that doesn't mean I have to be there all the time. But anyways, I can go into all sorts of little fantasy world. Well, I could make that work. I could do that. I could figure that out. Which there's more coming out now on the Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively stuff. I knew that there was some shady shit with them. Which also, old interviews where they have brought him in saying stuff. It seems that his relationship with her was one that was created by Hollywood. So Hollywood made this pairing, which, man, when he gets around Hugh Jackman, to me, he becomes very flamboyant. So I don't know if he was gay, and I don't know if the Scarlett Johansson mirror, like, I don't know what his deal is, but he has got himself into some shady shit with business and stuff. And all of these little shell companies, these LLCs, these corporation feeding system and stuff, like he's in there. And also Katy Perry, that's what I was thinking with that apple cider vinegar thing. And I talked about this before, but I was seeing this still is like that seemed like a confirmation, seeing all this stuff with these weird companies and stuff, and getting these actors, it's like getting them their investment, but it's like that's being controlled by somebody else. Like, well, you're going to invest in this. Like, Katy Perry's not down there at the apple cider vinegar thing trying to, oh, let's make a good one. We want to have good stuff out there. No, it's just her name. It's just her money. It's just her shell company or something. It's weird, shady shit that they're all doing in this bucking ass laundry system thing. But Ryan is all involved in that. There's a whole bunch of shit, and that seems to have something to do with that. This whole big group trying to protect themselves. It's all going to fall apart, whatever it is. But that's why I was seeing this. Like, they don't really let these people, like they say, oh, they're worth $350 million. But I don't think that they really get to have $350 million in their account. I think it's wrapped up with agents and managers and people, what are those people called? Accountants and stuff. And so their money is kept wrapped up in, what is that called? It's not like they have just cash. It's more of they have assets. So they have things that give them this worth or something. But really, it seems like the assets are controlled by these bigger organizations or something. So it just seems like when you start becoming successful in Hollywood, that they just start controlling over, like they'll pump you up to get access to use you and your money and stuff. Like, there's some shady shit. But anyways, Brian, he is all in. He's into whatever. And I don't know how many, I don't know the whole ins and outs of the whole thing. We guys will see as stuff keeps playing out, because it's going to keep exposing things. There was another weird thing about JD. So he goes, he sees the Pope keels over. Now he's gone to India or Istanbul or something, and I think they had a big earthquake or something right after or something. There's just so much weird shit going on. But, it still is like this, it's a show. It's like to draw attention. And, do they know from Looking Glass, like, there's about to be an earthquake there, so send him over, get everybody's attention so people start seeing. Because there's people who I don't even think they realize the significance of, like, we got earthquakes and volcanoes going all over the place. Like, the earth, we're in a time period of change. And there's so many people are just like, when's the game on tonight, Sam? It's like, what are you going to see this weekend? Where are you going to the movies? What are you drinking tonight? It's like people are just caught up in this artificial world. They're just caught up spinning their wheels in this artificial world and not looking at anything else. And then anybody who brings anything up, then they're just crazy and they become very resistant to any new information. So anyways, it's got to keep playing out. It's got to keep playing out in this slow, slow roll. But there's definitely, I know that there's a part of, that they are using, even though the ridiculousness of censoring our accounts, but see, then we all talk about the censorship. And so there's a lot of people that don't realize about the censorship and what fucking bullshit it is. Like, they literally go in and remove followers, remove views, remove comments. I mean, it's some fucking nonsense, man. But they also are using the people who are speaking about weird shit to open the minds of the other people. So it's like the ripple effect. So it's like start the whisper and then let it go and ripple through the crowd. It's like play telephone. So that's why I said it doesn't really matter if there's a distortion in your information. You just gotta let it, just ride the wave, because there's gonna be all sorts of crazy shit. And just because it seems like far-fetched or this part's not right or that part, it's all going to come together in the end. So it's all leading in, and it doesn't matter if like you heard this and this, and well, that wasn't all the way true. Just who cares? Just to open your mind to where we're going. It's just like open. You don't have to have all the pieces and put it all together right now. It's going to play out. You're going to see. The main thing is to start opening your mind and paying attention and getting your sight on the things that are happening, but then also not becoming obsessed with it. Because that is also another thing that happens. People just start obsessing. And that is all based on fear. And they just go, that's all they can worry about. Like, World War III, we're all going to be killed, apocalypse, we're all going to die. California's going to fall in the ocean, everybody's going to die. Well, there's going to be a lot of death that's going to occur through all this. But also, I think there's going to be a lot of evacuations, a lot of people going into new places. I totally think at some point, which it seems like it's going to start being, where there's a what is that called? Where they have to start paying us back for all the things that they've stolen from us and stuff. And which is all going to be money going back into the communities and stuff too. And so, like indigenous communities, especially ones where there's been so much tragedy and trauma and stuff that has been done to the people. There's going to be huge amounts of money that's going to go into their community to build it back up. There's going to be huge amounts of money that's going to go into all sorts of communities. Everything is going to be about building back. Like, who is that? Because he says, make America great again. The other guy, wasn't he the Build Back Better? But we really are going to go into this building back. But the infrastructure and stuff that we've had, like the roads here in Washington State, are fucking falling apart. We've got potholes everywhere. It is total shit. And I don't know, how much they'll start putting in that they're going to do anything. It won't surprise me if they just let shit just keep going. In Vegas right now, all the CEOs and stuff are stepping down. So you have all these people speculating about that. I would speculate as to the crimes and stuff that have gone on there. And when the CEOs and shit are being are leaving their jobs suddenly, and they're closing down casinos right and left, that it is more to do with illegal activity. And we're going into the punishment phase. We're going into, for it not to be making big news, that can be showing us, well, the news is still being manipulated. They're getting attention on this. Like, whatever it is, it's just a slow roll to change. And places like Vegas, yeah, that is like a cesspool. Like, there's a lot of bad shit going on there. lot, man. Even the third Hostel movie was based there. So they're, I'm sure, involved in so much traffic, so much harvest problems there. Like the trade industry is booming there. And just think of how many people, like I wonder how many people go missing there. Probably so fucking many. And she's just written off, well, they're drunk. Well, we don't know where they went. But so many people going there. And I guess right now there's not. It's like really reduced, but there's more places too where the tourist has gone down. Like people aren't going and traveling. It probably has something to do with money, has something to do with there wasn't just one Delta plane. They had to hold the roof on. There was two in the same day. And one of them, all the people, so 40 people or something, had to hold the roof. I think the roof is collapsing. And so they have to hold it up. So they had to hold it up for 40 minutes. Another one, it was, I don't know if they had to hold it up too, and if it was collapsing, and they said one was a bolt had come out or something. I don't know. I mean, it just sucks. I really don't want to go on an airplane. I know there's so many going and stuff all the time. It's just like, oh God, this stuff is so wacky. I just wish that they'd hurry, open the sky, and we could just start changing into this new thing. We'd start talking about hover cars and go visit our people like that, because we're not going to be going on these trains and planes and automobiles and stuff. And there was even another thing, where there was one thing about them saying that there's this other way of traveling that we're going to see about. But I'm sure I heard Donald talking about that there's also this real fast, like there's this fast train or something. And I know about the fast train that's underground. Maybe that's what we're going to start doing. Maybe we're going to they're going to open up the trains in the tunnels or something. Maybe we're going to start going underneath and going through these really fast things to get to places, because supposedly you can get from New York to Japan in like 1 minute or something. So I don't know. I just know everything is going to be changing, and everything is going to keep falling apart, and you got to let go of shit. You can't sit here and hold it on. There's nothing that we need to hold on to. There's nothing of this world that we need to hold on to. We don't need to hold on to their medical. We don't need to hold on to their judicial. We don't need to hold on to their government. We don't need to hold on to the church, the crown, none of it. It's all going. We're going into a whole new state of mind, whole new state of being, a whole new world. And it is not going to be anything like this one. The only thing that's going to be the same is we are going to be there. But when I think about that, I think about my old broken self and how different I am with my new improved self. You know, the self that started facing herself and healing herself and taking responsibility for herself and her feelings and, you know, what she was putting out into the world. And so it is, when you look back at your broken self, it's like it's a wide field between, and there's a lot that happens in that to get from one to the next. And so that to me is like in the micro macros, like the old world to the new world. The new world is going to be this revised, you know, great kind of experience where this has been dark and drudgery and hard, and you know, people are helpless and desperate. We're going to go with the flip side. And so that's the pole shift. We're going on the flip side. It's like we've all been living in the dark experience, and then we're going to flip it over and we're going to be in the light experience. But the whole thing that's going to be so uncomfortable, because you think like, well, everything's going to be great then. Everybody's going to be so happy. No, because there's so many people who are so comfortable in the dark, and they've set their thermometer, they've set their barometer, they've set their pace, their everything on them is set to the dark, and they don't realize that it's the dark that is ruling them. So when the light comes in, that's that feeling of this, you know, how did I not see the shame, the guilt, that, you know, especially because it's going to be, you know, the weirdos who saw it first, and it's going to be another slam to the people who are like, oh my God, how did that weirdo see it and I couldn't see it? It's like, because that's the way it was meant to be. It was meant to be, because that was a part of what your ego needed to face. Is it's not, you know, you're just average, you're just regular, we're all just regular. Nobody's more special than anybody else. We're all just a bunch of regular orbs here to experience. And some orbs get real caught up in themselves and reel up their own ass. And then there's people who will feed off of us. And there's people who will succumb to the pressure, that they would do anything to get ahead or have money or whatever. So they will rat out the rest of us in order for them to move ahead. So we've got the lack of integrity in this world that we're gonna, the healing, the facing that you have a lack of integrity is what builds your integrity back. So when you can see it, because these people, these virtue signaling people, they all think that they are the high and mighty, and it's like, no, you are riding the dark's tail. And so you need to see, when you are in a hateful, judgmental division and stuff like that, you are succumbing to the dark. And so that is where the light's going to come in, but the people are going to feel embarrassed and shame. And even if they don't speak of it, which you do better speaking your truth and saying, like, "Book, I can't believe I was so wrapped up in that. I can't believe I was so hung up," be real. That is going to be a lot more healing than to try and be like, "Oh, nobody's going to know, nobody's going to," it's better to just, humble yourself and speak your truth and be real and honest. Like, you don't have to see everything. You don't have to know everything. We're here to learn and heal. Oh my God, that is so loud. Fuck, everything is so fucking loud. It's so intense. And the high-pitched fucking sounds that keep being like, fuck, I swear to God, I don't know what's gonna happen. Sometimes it just seems like it's so otherworldly, like at any moment the sky is gonna rip open and fucking ships are gonna land. Like, fuck, I don't even know. People are gonna disappear. I don't fucking know. To me, it doesn't make sense that anybody's disappearing until everybody wakes up and sees, because that is the significant thing that we're here. To me, that's what I see. So I don't know, but we can look at my hair and see that as definitely. Yesterday I did some video, and it was like, oh my God, when this light's coming through, look at all that hairs that are going. So that's they go all crazy sticking up like that, but it's gonna be so much nicer when it starts getting more thicker, even though I'm sure then I'll start being like, why did I want it to get thicker again? Like, God dang, it's hot. Especially like when we're in hell right now, where it's so fucking hot. And then my tooth, which I do have that mouthwash sitting there. There's that. And I saw a part of that video the other day where I was doing that, and I was like, oh dang, you can't really see shit. So I don't know if you guys can see shit or whatever, but where's that? If you can see. And this is the mouthwash. This stuff right here. Yesterday I took a big swig of water. I put the most tiniest drop of this. It was still hot. Like, I don't know if I've just got a real sensitivity to peppermint, because I'm assuming there's a lot of peppermint extract in here or something. But anyways, this is the alkaline mouthwash. So, and it was on Amazon, and I think it was $20. It was like $19.99 or something. And it seemed like there was another oh, I wanted to show this too. This is a red light therapy thing, and I got this off of Amazon, and they have them like, fuck, there's $150 ones. I think they have $229 ones. They have $79 ones, $99 ones, and then you can get them on sale and stuff. So I got mine on sale. It was supposed to be $100. I got it on sale for 40, and it has 7 different lights. But I've been doing the red light, and so you push this button, and then it comes on for 10 minutes, and it goes off. And I've been doing it every day, and so I'm telling you, because it's supposed to be good for your skin. And so, and since that's what, I'm trying to pay attention to, if aging is real or not, which I say aging is made up. But anyway, so this is another thing I'm doing, besides the copper and iron and Oh yeah, and also I put aloe vera all over my face the other day. And so, and that's got a lot of natural things. But also, you know, you can use banana peels. You can also, fruit. You can boil the peeling down and use that stuff on your face. There's a lot of stuff to get vitamin C and stuff in your face. But these red light things are supposed to be good for your cells and make wrinkles go away and all that stuff. So anyways, is anything I'm doing, I want to be on the up and up about it. I don't want to be doing something secret and then having results and say, oh, well, it's just this. No, this is, I'm also doing this. And I just started this like a week ago, and I've been doing it each day for the 10 minutes. So that's where I'm at on that. And if there was anything else, I don't think so. So just remember what we're doing. Because as far as I can see, like, you can listen or see whatever you want to see. Don't just see because I say. But what I definitely think, you have a great purpose, or you will have a good outcome if you work on yourself and you face yourself and you see parts of yourself that, you know, you don't really want to look at. Then that's your best thing you can be doing right now, because everything that you can do to learn to love yourself is the direction you want to go, because you don't go anywhere if you don't love yourself. You're just stuck in a hole. So learning to love yourself, learning to love everybody else, and learning how to have the day you want to have. Have it be what you want to have, because you have power over that. And then it's by how you look at it. It's like directing your energy. Just look for the good stuff. Look for the happy things every day. And we'll talk about it again tomorrow. So talk to you later. Bye.